Right, so in this latest episode of the skimboarding series, I am talking about the OG of OXS Skimboards, the OXS Slipeezy. Now this particular model, of course, it has had various layout changes and many changes in that time. This was the original board I designed for OXS Skimboards. The twin tip shape has pretty much been a classic and a staple for a lot of flatland board companies, and with little variations here and there. This particular board is made for performance flatland riding. It has more rocker than the Gromlin model. Now I've already done a video on the Gromlin model. There is a card popping up top, which you can sort of see the differences here in this video, and of course that one. Now the biggest changes to this as opposed to the Gromlin is of course the shape. The twin tip shape spins better. It is easier to ride sort of backwards or forwards depending on what way you go. It has a directional rocker. Now one thing, this has more rocker than the Gromlin model. This is to help with popping the board out of the water. It will also lower your ability to retain and hold speed like any board, skimboards and surfboards, things like that. The more rocky you crank into something, the harder it will be to keep it moving. This doesn't mean it's hard to keep moving, it just won't glide you quite as far as the Gromlin model. And the biggest change probably to this board over the Gromlin is the overall construction of the board. Now if you have seen the Gromlin video, we run just a Formica base just like this here on the Slipeezy, but the biggest change to this Slipeezy is we've got laminated marine plies. We also have a Formica top sheet, and all of these come by standard with a composite inlay. Now what this means, it means for exceptional performance and exceptional feel underfoot. I do run what is called the IBC number. Now this is interchangeable board characteristics, and what this means is that we start all the way down at the feather flex layout of these, which is the lightest layout. It has in the past, there is no fiberglass layer in the feather flex layout, but I'm having a few supply changes and things like that. So what is happening in the feather flex layout is that we're running a lighter cloth. The standard medium runs a heavier cloth, and then of course the large size Slipeezy runs a heavier cloth again. And what all that is doing is basically just stiffening up the board a little bit. If you've never jumped on various boards of these, you probably won't notice the feeling. I do myself because I've developed them for years. And what this just means is we're trying to get very similar characteristics throughout the board of certain weight riders. A lot of people like the feather flex layout. It is lighter and it is easier to pop at lower speeds, but if you're quite an aggressive full speed rider, I would certainly suggest a standard layout. That is my preferred layout of board, especially if you're not only a faster, more aggressive rider, but a heavier rider also. It's worth sticking with the standard layout. We have various traction designs. These are given to you by default with traction on them. Now it's 2021, I don't really sell any options available without traction, or sort of the surf wax variant. Traction is worth it. It looks cool, feels great under feet, super grippy, protects your feet from things like heel bruising, and of course, as I did mention, it is available in a multitude of colors. Now if you're wanting to progress your flatland riding or shoreline riding, this once again is made for shallow water, but this is the board that will help you pop huge, hit rails, hit logs, and basically just have a bloody good time in the shallows. You can of course view all boards at oxsskimboards.co.nz. These are available from $269 delivered nationwide, which is bloody good buying for a board that for most people they're probably never going to buy another one because they're bloody hard to put some wear on. So there you go, this has been the OG of OXS Skimboards. This has been the board that I've spent the most time on through the years, the board model I've spent the most time on through the years, and it's a really cool board. Feel free to browse the rest of this channel for videos. I've got videos on locations, and I'm going to do a lot of how-to tips coming up. We've got board models. Feel free to drop any suggestions you have below, of course, on what you'd like to see on this here channel. I'm just going to keep pumping out videos which for the most part are going to be very New Zealand specific. I do ship worldwide. That is it for now. I am Sam Price. I'll see you at the beach.